Hey crafty cuties, I hope everyone's doing lovely. Today's video I'm going to go ahead and show you all of the final projects that I made in the 5 days of Christmas, which was a series of videos using Kara Brandon and Dear Julie Julie's printables, and just making lots of fun crafty Christmassy things for I'm going to be using them for my journal, but they could really be for anything. And so I'm just going to show you all the things together. This really is full of joy. Let me show you. And maybe I will be able to give you a few little examples or show you what these things would look like inside of my journal. I'm not going to actually put them in there today because I want to keep these things for when I'm actually doing December daily, which by the time you're seeing this video, I probably should have started. So check out the channel for that. So we're going to start all the way at day one, and for day one I made this little flippy thing, this little flippy ephemera folder with a couple little journaling card clipped on the front here so you can see. Here we go. I even made a little clip up here, and then it just folds down like that. And it has all these fun little ephemera pieces that were in that first day's kit. So then everything folds back up. And so yeah, let me just kind of show you what this would look like in a journal. Again, I'm not gonna probably glue it down all the way yet, but it's kind of fun to get a good idea of what it's gonna look like inside a journal, I think. We'll just go to one of the blank pages. That's probably how I would use this. And for something like this, I would probably, let's see, let me think about this. I think what I would do is I would probably glue it on 3 sides like this, and then you would have a side pocket, which is maybe where I would put a picture or something like that. I probably would take these off and use these in a different project, to be quite honest. And actually maybe I would put my picture on the front here. It's kind of hard to say for sure. But then you have your little flip down, and that way you have some extra space for journaling and pictures. And this would be a great thing to put in your journal if you had several pictures that you wanted on one page. These do clip on nice, so you know, depending on how I end up using it, they could or could not go on, and it fits real nice right there. So let's go to day 2. Day 2, I made this little ephemera journal, and I even have some little lace closures, which is fun. This is a little bit bigger. There is a tag right here. I used the cute little winter house right here on the front, and then you have this beautiful collaging that was a part of Kara's printable. And then it opens up like here, where again you have lots of space for things. I mean, that's usually, for me, when I'm crafting in my journal, I'm always wanting to create pockets and add little envelopes for pieces, small pieces of actual like ephemera and memorabilia that I get throughout the days, like tickets and things like that. So I would probably replace a lot of these things with my own actual like tickets or receipts, or again, little memorabilia that I collect throughout the days. Got another little pocket right here, and then you have a clear pocket back here for even more space. So for something like this, I would probably just clip this in my journal. Of course it can be sewn, but for something like this, I think that it would be fun to actually be able to take off and then just hold it in your hands. That's just how I would use it. And of course you'll get to see how I use a lot of these things throughout the month of December in my December daily. I might not use them all, but I'll definitely be using a lot. So day 3, let's see, it's kind of hard to remember. Yes, I made these decorated layered envelopes. Each one's a little bit different. So this one right here, I used a manila tag, and you can see that I layered on some of the printable tags, and then I even added a little pin here with one of these smaller deer tags, and for some reason it's kind of dark, didn't want to focus there, with a little jingle bell. And then when I put this in, I kind of keep the little tag out on front. So we'll just set that down and keep going through here. And each envelope was obviously different, but this one right here, I used a vellum envelope. And that's kind of fun because then you can actually peek and see what's in the envelope. So like this one, I have like this journaling card, which looks really pretty behind it because you can get just a little glimpse as to what's in the envelope. So there's that one. I was just using a regular white envelope for this one. And there's a tiny little tag that comes out as well, which is sort of fun. And it's just, you know, a bunch of simple little layered on pieces, but they end up looking really fun. I like this one because I used some grit paste, I believe it was. And so you actually get some texture on this one, but it's not two-dimensional, which I always prefer. And I think I put maybe some of the tags in here as well. And we have this one, which also has a pocket. I think I did put a little tag. It's a little too small for this one, but this would be great to put an actual tag that I created for that day. This is maybe one of my favorites. I don't know if that's what I said in the last one because I love this part of the envelope. It's a little bit wider, so I wasn't sure how it's gonna fit in my journal, but there's this one as well. And for these, honestly, I would probably just go ahead and put them down on a page. Nothing too tricky about it. This one maybe, like, I mean, it's hard to say, but I could just, these are easy to work with. You know, you could glue them down. You could put them in one of the pockets. Yeah, that's right. I didn't actually put any pockets in this journal. So lots of blank space to work with, but the long ones, they just fit perfect and they take up a whole page. And so then let's put these aside. 1, 2, 3, and we have day 4. And I made some wax sealed I guess journaling cards. So you can see that I layered on a few pieces along with some gold thread on some of them, and then finished it off with a wax seal, which is just so nice because I know many of you have wax seals and you don't grab them out and use them very often, which I am definitely guilty of that as well. That's why I decided to use them. This one right here, I really like that one. And then this was actually a little pocket, but I went ahead and did just the same thing. And I really like how that one turned out. And then this day I just had some leftover things. I think they were from this day at least, which was just a tag. So I kept it simple and I just sewed around the edges. That will be nice to just have and use. And then a tiny little envelope that had a bunch of the leftover little ephemera pieces. But I'm really excited to get to use these. Especially love the one with the pocket just because I like that it's decorated, but then when you put it down, you know, you could actually put like a picture or some journaling in, and so it's actually like, yeah, what am I trying to say? That you can actually get use out of it, and it's not just like a pretty thing to look at. Love this one as well, and I would probably, this one's like a little too wide for my journal. I would probably just trim down the sides a little bit, and for something like this, I think I would probably make this into a pocket. So lots of different ways to use these. I mean, even this smaller one could just also, yeah, just go in a pocket, and then I could use the back for journaling. And I would probably put it in the pocket so that you could actually see the cute little wax seal, because I think that's a fun part of it. Not to say that the printables aren't gorgeous all on their own, because they are, but they're very fun to work with. And last but not least, we have day 5. And I think this is the one that a lot of people would really want to see how to use. And that was the snippet roll. So, wow, this is so, I haven't looked at this in a few days, so my little tag fell out. I'll just give you a quick little peek. And if you want to, again, if you want to see how I made any of these, I'll have the playlist down below. I felt like I kept this simple enough that, you know, I could be flexible with how I used it. And so for this one, because I feel like I'm going to get the most questions about how would you actually use a snippet roll. Gosh, I don't want to cut it down yet, so just stay tuned for my December daily. But what I would most likely always do with snippet rolls, this is just how I use them, I would probably cut it down and I would decide, you know, what piece I wanted. That's kind of the fun of it. But I would probably trim it down just enough to be as wide as a page, and I would use it as a pocket because it's just already decorated, ready to go. But Other things that you can do, you could put it up in the middle of the page and make it a belly band. You could cut pieces of this off and use it on the front of a journal. You could cut these off and even put them like on the top of a pocket if you already had like a pocket. You could cut a little piece off and just put it on your page as is. Yeah, I'm very excited to use a lot of these things. So I hope that this was fun just to recap and see all of the things, but then get a few ideas. And again, you should be able to see me use some of these along with other things in my December daily coming up, or just kidding, I'm filming this way in advance, but you get the point. You will see these things being used probably now, because we're in December as you're watching this. Oh boy, that is telling me it's close. Okay guys, thank you so much for hanging out today. I just appreciate and love you guys so much. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.